So, 2018 is debatably one of the biggest years in roller coaster history. We have seen so many new rides popping up over and over again in the course of the year. And, after a really big year in the coaster industry, you would expect the next year to be a very small year, maybe a couple major coasters popping here and there. But 2019 is a great exception to that because 2019 is shaping up to be almost as big as 2018. We have seen some amazing rides pop up like Steel Curtain, Copperhead Strike, West Coast Racers, Max Force, and now the greatest of them all, White Whale. You all might remember Nagashima Spaland's old wooden roller coaster White Cyclone. It was an Intamin and it was huge. It was one of the biggest, longest wooden roller coasters on this planet. And a couple years ago, its announcement to close appeared everywhere and everyone was freaking out. It approved of being an RMC, track has arrived, and everyone is just super hyped for this. And the layout has finally come out, at least part of the layout, and it is coming out as White Whale. We don't know everything right now as of September 25th, 2018, but here is what we know so far. The ride will have lots and lots of airtime and a couple of inversions, but looking at statistics, the top speed will be 107 kilometers per hour, which translates in the units to 66 miles an hour, just over 66. So this will not be as fast as Steel Vengeance, and this is around the speed of some rides like Gatekeeper or Wildfire at Silver Dollar City, so I cannot imagine this being over 200 feet, maybe around the 180 range, which could be my best guess. In meters, the ride will be 1,530 kilometers long, and that's pretty long, but translating to miles, it is just above 5,000, so this will be one of the longest Rocky Mountain construction roller coasters, if not the second most, because I know Steel Vengeance is a little longer. So let's look at what we have for the layout so far. Let's just look at the pre-lift, because this might be the best pre-lift on not just any RMC, but any coaster. It launches you out of that station, and it goes into these very fast bunny hills. This looks really fun. If you don't know about the original White Cyclone, its pre-lift section was this huge turn. It was huge. And so they're taking advantage of this and adding airtime hills throughout the layout. When you go to the top of the lift hill, you make a left-hand turn just like the real ride and go down a gigantic drop. Now, I don't know if this drop will be 90 degrees, so to speak. It doesn't look like it in the video because we really don't know the current angle of descent as of right now, so that's just a guess. I'm going to say it's around 80 degrees. After that, you go down, and then you go right back up into this gigantic double up. This looks awesome. This might be the best part of the ride right here. This looks forceful and the pacing looks incredible. The height and speed of this double up look awesome, and instead of slowing down on the top hill just like some airtime hills on Steel Vengeance, it just roars over those, and this looks very forceful as well. A lot of Japanese coaster enthusiasts will be raving about this element. I guarantee this might be the best double up like ever. And after that, you go into this really funky element. It's like an outwards bank turn, but it doesn't look like it's going to give much airtime, but it looks like it's going to give some sweet laterals and a great view. So that looks awesome. Really good way to twist it up. Then after that, you go into this big double down, and this double down looks just as good as the double up. Maybe not as good, but I mean still, it roars down that double down. And it just continues and stacks right onto the amazing elements that will be on this ride. After that double down, you go into the ride's first inversion, which is going to be a large 0G stall, and this isn't going to give you a lot of hang time, because judging by the off-ride and on-ride animations, it looks like it's just going to zoom right through that 0G stall, and you're going to be pushed into your seat. That looks freaking fun. And after that, you go into this sideways airtime hill. I mean, not sideways, but as in you're pulling laterals as you're making this airtime hill. And then you go into this overbank turn. And that overbank turn looks forceful. It looks fast. It looks like what a positive G fan would love. The POV ends there, but judging by pictures of the layout, we can see what will make up the rest of the ride. What makes up the rest of the ride is another inversion, which will be a 0G roll, which looks very forceful as well. After that is a series of airtime hills after airtime hills, double ups, double downs, and there's another overbank turn, maybe a wave turn. Hopefully there is a wave turn on this ride. I really can't tell right now, but wave turns are freaking nuts, and I really hope there's one of these on there. So after that, you go into what I believe is either another inversion or just a really funky wave turn. But after that, you go into more airtime hills, another overbank turn. The rest of the ride is, I mean, I can't really see it in this view, but the ride is over after that. And this ride, judging by it, will have a couple more positive G moments than rides like Steel Vengeance, but not a lot of negative G moments like other RMCs. This ride won't 100% be focused on negative G elements. When it comes to pacing, the ride looks incredible, but let's talk about things that we will not see while we're on the ride. Let's talk about theming, let's talk about stuff like that. Theming looks really cool, and by that I mean what we see so far. All we see is what the trains, or carts, or whatever you want to call them, will look like, and this looks really cool. Look at the front of that. That looks awesome. That looks like some great theming. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be themed to Moby Dick, which, if you don't know, is a novel, and it looks pretty cool. The theming looks awesome, and the theming would be really cool. It would be awesome, and I really hope they actually do contribute to some theming. I'm not saying Disney level or Phantasialand level, but I just mean maybe, I guess, mild theming, like you'd see at a Cedar Fair Six Flags park, just not as generic gets. Here's the big question. Do I think it's going to be the best ride in Asia? Probably. But is it going to overthrow Steel Vengeance for me? If you guys don't know, I think Steel Vengeance might actually be the best coaster ever built. So will this overthrow Steel Vengeance, in my opinion? I know this opinion is very controversial right now. It does seem like the majority still like Steel Vengeance, but there are people that definitely believe that this ride will trash all over Steel Vengeance. So here's my opinion. I do not think that this will beat Steel Vengeance. I'm sorry to say. It just looks overall like a shorter ride. The airtime looks a little less forceful than it would on something like Steel Vengeance. But when we're talking about RMCs, it actually might be the second best RMC. It will be really tough against Wildfire, because I think Wildfire is the second best RMC. We'll have to see when this ride is completed. It's very long. It's going to have a lot of features that are not seen on other rides. I do think it will be the best ride in Asia, and I do think it will be top 10 in the world when it comes out, if all the cards are played right. So, what do you think about this ride? Do you think this ride will be the best on Earth? Or do you think it's just going to be one of the best, maybe not even top 10? Well, let me know in your opinion. It definitely looks like a top 3 RMC. Looks like, the best RMC out in Asia, because, it's the only one. That was a really stupid comment. But we're going to have more videos later this week, because the coaster industry is basically blowing up right now. SeaWorld probably has leaked plans. Kings Island is closing a roller coaster. I mean, let's not, sugarcoat anything. Let's break the ice right here. The coaster industry right now is going mad. It's that time of the year, so I will be talking about that in later videos soon. This is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.